Welcome, Natalie Crockford, to the Women's Bodybuilding podcast. Introduction to you. You are a PCA overall champion in athletic figure. Does that make you a PCA pro?
No, because I had to do the British finals, and then whoever won the overall of that one would get the PCI Pro Card. So I think it was Ria last year. So yeah, she's got a pro card. So no, unfortunately I don't have one, but
it's one of the federations that I think it's pretty difficult to get one.
I think PCA is really hard because you've kind of got like, it's so, I don't know, it is really hard, I think, because you have everyone kind of competing from your different areas like Midlands, Jersey, all over the country. And then when it comes to the Britain, then you have to kind of win your category, and then you have to win like the women's overall to get a pro card. So it kind of reminds me of like NABA in a way, because NABA are kind of that way as well. So you have to win your category, and then you have to win like the women's overall. So it is quite hard, whereas I feel like some other federations, I think it's two bros, like, do you get your pro card once you just win that show, and then I think you go on to the overalls again? I'm not too sure with two bros, but yeah,
I'm not sure, but I know PCA don't give out, they don't just give them out.
Yeah, I did see that. I think there's only 3 girls that I know that have got a pro card PCA. So yeah, there's not many people with a pro card there. So
do you have a NABA pro card? Because you also won a show with them as well.
No, I think NABA's more trained figure. I think you can only get a pro card if you trained in their federation. Yeah, because I remember the girl last year who got a pro card, she was trained. So yeah, I'm not kind of at that level with NABA yet.
Do you like to stick with PCA and NABA? You want to become pros in those two? Or would you jump to two bros as well?
When I first started competing, I was always kind of admired Nicole Wilkins, so she's always been like my ultimate inspiration of bodybuilding. And like when I first started, I went into bikini and then gradually moved into toned, and now I'm in athletic. Whereas for me, kind of the PCA and NABA was never kind of part of my plan. It's just kind of something that I've done along the way. And my long-term goal would be to move to two bros, but I don't think I'm at that level yet. So I think for me, I'm not like in a rush to try and get that yet. I want to stay in kind of the amateur and see what I can do. And then once I've kind of done that, then I think once I've done everything in amateur, then I think the only last thing for me to do would be try and move to two bros. But I'm not kind of at that stage yet. I think I've got a couple of years yet.
It's quite a different look though, from two bros figure to the figure in PCA and NABA. It's a very different look. What look do you prefer? Because I love the PCA look.
For me, I prefer like, I'll come in quite full. So I like really full physiques. But then at the moment, it's very like to get lean and like be really like striated and dry and with the two bros. So for me, I think it's going to take me a bit of time to get my body to that probably level of body fat, because last year, 2019 was the first time that I'd had to really like try and get some condition. And yeah, it is really hard. So yeah, I think that'll be like each time I compete, it will get better. So I think the look for me would always be like a full physique, not really like I don't know, I think shredded looks awesome, but for me, I just like a full physique.
I think shredded looks good in figure if you've got the size. Obviously, it's better to be a little bit bigger and then cut down. But I'm the same as you. I prefer the fuller legs, and it does look a lot healthier, and it probably is because you still got the body fat.
I'm gonna say I definitely haven't got the muscle mass yet to get like absolutely shredded for it to look okay. So yeah, maybe in a few years I might be able to nail that.
Would you go up to trained figure first, do you think? Because you've gone from like a natural progression, bikini toned athletic. What are your thoughts on trained? Are you going to try and push up, or are you just going to kind of grow and see what happens?
I'll see what happens. I'm looking to compete again, but I think I'll be in athletic. I'm not too sure, because I think for me it was more like the condition for trained. It's more of like a condition thing, whereas I don't think I'm at that point yet. So I think if I diet and my coach goes to me, your condition's like getting to the point where it's at trained, then I might think to myself, oh, okay, let's push it for trained. But at the moment, I struggle to get athletic, so I think we'll stay with that for now. And then if I diet and my body's like, okay, we can get leaner, then I'll just go for it. So I don't know, but I do really like athletic, so I'd like to stay in that one.
Yeah, it is a good look. But yeah, you're definitely outgrown toned, without a doubt, because you've got size. You've got a lot of size. I think you're playing down your size.
I don't know, like it was really weird, because when I did NABA Universe, I was like backstage and I was like, oh my god, this girl's massive, like not in like that way, I mean like muscular wise, and I was like, oh my god, she's like got a ton of muscle mass, and I was like, I'm in the wrong class here. And then when I was on stage, she came third to me, and then when I was looking at the photos after, I was like, we're not far off like the same size. And I was like, actually you do actually really like downplay what you look like, because you look in the mirror and you think, oh my god, I'm small. Like I still think I'm bikini. So when I was competing last time, I was like, I'm not in the right class. And then when I did my first show, I was like, okay, my coach is right.
Your coach is Dan Welburn?
Yeah, that's correct.
Same as me. I'm pretty new to Dan.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, just before Christmas, so I don't have a show planning date. I'm bikini size, but I want to be figure, just because I like the posing more.
Yeah, I prefer the posing.
How long have you been with Dan?
I went with Dan before I started competing in 2019, and then I'm going to be going back with Dan, I think the 1st of April we've decided, just so I can get my ass back into gear.
Have you had no coach during off season then?
No, see, I feel like I'm okay in off season, but I had an operation in December, so I haven't really like trained properly for like 2 months really. So at that point I'm kind of like, okay, I need to like utilize my off season a lot better this time, just because of obviously isolation and then the operation, and then having no gyms has just been like, as soon as we open I need to fix up basically.
What's your next show that you're going for?
I'd like to just do NABA Universe and concentrate on that one, and that would probably be it for me. I don't know, we'll see, because I only like to do 1 or 2 shows, so I might do NABA Universe and see what's after that, or one just before, just so obviously go on stage and then get rid of my nerves, ready for the Universe.
When's that, at the end of the year, Universe?
I think it'll be November, because it was November like the 10th last time, but I'm not too sure what's going to happen, because I don't know if they're going to pull it forward and have one from like before, or just have like just one and only just 1 or 2. I'm not sure, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world.
Don't know what, yeah. So because it's a Universe, did you have to qualify for that though? Yeah,
so for NABA Universe, I'm not sure whether you can qualify at the Midlands, but I qualified at the NABA England and then did the NABA Universe. That was my last show. I wasn't going to do that show, but I was like, yeah, I needed to like fix up.
Is that the one you came second? You came second in that? Yeah,
so came second NABA Universe. A lady, I think it was, I can't remember where she was from, something Republic she was from. And then another girl came third. So yeah, it was a really good show. It was like my first Universe. Always wanted to go there. It took me 4 years to get to that show, and then I came second in my first one. So I was like, I just literally was shocked.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible though.
I know, they're calling like the girls out, and I was just like, oh no, I've not placed. I must have come like 7th or like 8th or something. I was like 3rd. I was like, oh my god, it was the girl who I thought was like mint backstage, and I was like, no chance. And then they called me, and I was like, what? I literally got betrayed. So yeah.
Is there a big difference with NABA and PCA being on stage, like the whole setup? Is NABA a bigger show?
Oh, okay. To be honest, I think they're both about the same. When I did my Midlands and did the NABA England, they were both very similar. It's weird because I feel like I've done that many shows now. I just go and I don't really like pay attention to kind of how many people are in like the audience. Just kind of, when I go to shows, I just kind of put my music on and wait to be on stage really, and then just go backstage, pump up, then go on. So I think I don't know, like for me, they're both the same because I don't really like taking much what's going around me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've never seen a NABA show. I watched a PCA show before. It was a Body Power in Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
And there was so many athletes. So many. It was a big show. And I remember, I think it was Athletic Figure as well that I was watching. And me and my friend were like, I was in my first ever prep and we were watching like, oh shit, these girls are serious. And I'm sure it was Athletic and they were big. I think it was the show Emma Hindman won. I think she won that show.
Yeah. I remember that one. They were all class.
They were huge.
Yeah, I seen that and I was like, I can't do Athletic. No.
How has lockdown been for you, training wise?
It's been okay. Like, I've got a bike. I've got a few weights. Like the first one wasn't that great, but then I started like training in my garden, and then the second one I was working, and then that one was quite tough because I work 8 till 6. It was either like I train in the dark in the morning or train in the dark like night, and it was like the weather was awful in like November, so it was like freezing and I was like outside with like about 7 layers on. It was just a nightmare. So I was training then, and then after December, I haven't really done a lot, to be honest. I've just been doing upper and lower. I've been going on my bike, been going for walks, to be honest. That's probably the best thing that I've been doing, is going for walks. So my training's not been 100%. That's just being honest.
Yeah, no, mine was shocking the first lockdown. Shocking. But I finally got some stuff this lockdown, but not long now, a couple of weeks.
I know.
So you're in upper and lower. Is that your usual training split if you were in the gym? What would your split like be now?
My split in the gym, I split legs up. So I'll do like glutes and calves, and then I'll do like quads, etc. separate. No, that's wrong, sorry. Glutes and hams, and then quads and calves, sorry. That's how I split my legs. And then I do back, biceps, and then I do shoulders, chest and triceps. So that'd be my split in the gym. And then just doing a bit of cardio around that, like going on the Stairmaster, probably about 20-30 minutes. That's probably it, really.
What's your favourite thing to train?
Shoulders and legs.
I fucking hate training legs.
I really like legs. I don't know why. I just think I just love it. It's I love training legs. I don't know why.
Quads. I love training quads, but if there's anything glutes, I can't see it, just ignore it.
When I train my glutes, I feel like it's just even harder to do stuff. I don't know why. Like I could do quads all day, but then as soon as I start doing glutes, like my whole body just starts to like get hot, and like I'm like, why am I sweating this much doing glutes? It's weird. Do you get that? Was that just me?
I've just got the weakest glutes ever because I never really trained them. And now Dan's training loads of glute stuff, and I'm like, he's like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I don't like it. My quads are being ignored. I'm not into this.
Oh God. No, my body hates it as well. As soon as I start doing like glutes, it's like, what are you doing? And I start getting really hot, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just not normal. So yeah, I don't know why my body just doesn't like glutes like at all. It's just weird.
I love training shoulders as well. Back is probably my favorite thing to train, even though it's my weakest area.
I like back as
well, which is really strange. Like normally your favorite thing would probably be your best area, but my back is my weakest area, and it's just my favorite thing to train. Your shoulders are incredible, so that makes sense
Thank
why
you.
they're your favourite.
Not so much now, but yeah, I don't know. It's when people ask me what's my favourite part, like I like all of it. I like back as well. Like I just love training back. You know what? I'm gonna put it out there. Biceps, I just can't do it. I just think it's so tedious, like doing biceps. I don't know why. I love doing triceps, but biceps, that's probably why I've got no biceps. I need to do more biceps.
I'm exactly the same. I just find it so boring.
I'm there. I'm like, oh my god.
There's only one movement for them, and it's just boring.
It's the same, and it's like this or like this.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my god.
There's just variety. How are you with checking in during off season?
I haven't actually checked in with Dan yet, so yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Do you check in with yourself?
Yeah, so I usually just kind of do like a bit of videos, like because I do posing in off season, so I do like little videos and then just do like some posing and then see what I'm looking like. But at the moment it's not great. So
what about social media? What you like with social media during prep?
During prep, I think I'm naturally quite reserved on social media. I think prep's something that I choose to do. Like a lot of people are quite like vocal when they're competing. It's like I don't feel the need to kind of post every meal that I'm eating and every cardio session or every training session, but that's just me. Because if I'm competing, I'm doing it for me. I don't need to like broadcast it to everyone and tell everyone what I'm doing. So that's just me.
Yeah, there's only like a few pictures of you. All of a sudden it's just the stage show and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. My last ones, it was like when I did my I did a shoot with AK, and like my next photo is like me like just at this photo shoot, and then all of a sudden it's just me like there with my trophies. Like when you look at the difference, you're like, what happened there? But yeah, I don't really post much. I think sometimes should I, but then I'm like, no, I'm like, I just keep it to myself. I don't know. I like
effort.
It is effort as well. It's really bad effort.
Like just brushing my hair's effort.
Oh, I know.
Thankfully, I have a full-time job. I don't have to brush my hair.
Oh god. Yeah, that's another thing. Like I'm doing like 8 till 6, I like work all day and it's busy, and then I'm like, when I finish work, I'm like in the gym, then I'm home, and then it's like 8:30, and then I'm like, I don't have time to like really post much, I suppose. I just don't like it.
How do you find prep with a full-time job, like with a Monday to Friday?
Oh, it's not Monday to Friday. It's like Monday to Sunday all the time.
Yeah.
I do find it quite hard. I do feel like obviously prep, you've got to give a lot of effort to get results, and then my job's quite the same. You've got to do a lot of effort to get results. So working sales, but the last time I competed was like the September. So for me, I can't have any time off in September or March just because of the job that I do. And literally, I think I remember, like, so I get every other Sunday off. So I get 2 Sundays, and then each of those Sundays were like my shows. So I remember the one was NABA England, and then the other one was NABA Midlands. So like I had work on the Monday and work on the Saturday.
Oh,
so it was yeah. So I did find it quite hard to balance the two, but I did really well in my bodybuilding and I didn't get fired, so I did all right, I suppose.
You balanced it quite well.
So it went all right.
What about like into the gym after work and stuff like that? Because obviously prep, your brain's all over the place anyway, let alone thinking, oh, shit, it's 6 o'clock, still got to go to the gym. How did you find that? Did you ever like slip up?
So sometimes I was like, I really can't be asked to go to the gym. But then, I don't know, I think because it's kind of on my way home, I don't know, it's just like a habit. And when you've got like disciplined, even though you haven't got like the motivation to go, like I would just go anyway. And then when I was there and I started getting into it, I was fine. But some of the sessions I was just literally like so angry because I was that tired and I was like, I just don't want to be here. But I just got it got it done anyway. And I just think once you're there, you're fine. But when I did finish work, I'd just be like, get me to the gym now.
Yeah, like you said, once you're there, it's fine. It's just getting there. And I know what you mean with being angry in there as well. My husband's got a video of me sulking in our gym. There's a sofa, and I was training, and I just was so tired and weak. I stormed over, sat on the sofa, and that's left 10 minutes, just furious. And then I'd carry on.
I think I've done that as well. I've literally sat on the machine. I've just been questioning, like, what the hell I'm doing. Like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
But then you just think, come on, get yourself together and just do it. I think for me, the only way I stay motivated in the gym is when I'm prepping, is I always say to myself, like, I try not to lose any like strength. I always push like my reps and my strength when I'm in prep, because I always say to myself, you're not bloody losing this muscle. You're not losing this muscle. Like, move the weight, no matter how long it takes me. I'll just literally just do it. So yeah.
Yeah, that weak feeling is horrible.
I know, but I will literally make myself stay on the machine until I've done the reps that I want to do. Even if it takes me like 10 minutes to do one exercise, I'm stubborn.
There's a queue of people like, come on, you're like, hell no, I've got 1.5 reps there, thank you.
And then you're there like, if you're having a breather between each rep, and it's like, you don't know, just wait. Just wait.
That's probably how you've built up so well as well. Do you find building muscle quite easy for you?
I find it quite hard, actually. Like, I was naturally, well, I'd like to say naturally, but I was around a size 0 or size 2, like in kind of like my teenage years. So I was kind of like a bit of a stick. So it's hard for me to build it. I can lose weight. Well, saying that, I can lose weight really quick. I feel like I like if I don't train, like I feel like I go really slim quickly.
Yeah,
whereas I feel like
same as me.
When I'm trying to build up, it's just like it doesn't happen for me. What's going on?
Because you're building from like nothing, literally from thin air.
Yeah.
But like I said, you've built up a figure that you've got now. Are you a natural athlete?
Not a natural, no.
No. When did you not become a natural?
So when I first started competing, I did take some PEDs, but then after that I was literally like, I am not touching anything, like, at all. When I did toned, I didn't touch anything when I did toned. And then when I started moving towards, I stayed in tone longer than what I should, because I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the figure for athletic without. And I was kind of like, I want to just do it all by myself, so don't take anything in off season, anything like that. I'm not off season. I just don't do it. My partner at the time was like against it, so I didn't touch it for like 4-5 years. And then when I decided that I finally wanted to like move to athletic, when I started my prep, I did start using PEDs, but small amounts of PEDs. So I'm not against them at all. I'm kind of like against the abuse of them. I think for me, I will only take small amounts, and that's it. And from trusted people and trusted whatever it is.
Yeah. I think like you said that you started training and then you started having PEDs. Was that from bad advice?
That was from bad advice.
Was it gym bro?
No, it was just from people kind of that I was around at the time. And I just thought, like, obviously when you first start something, you're quite naive and you feel like, oh, I need to be doing that, and like everyone else is doing it, and you kind of do just take whatever people kind of tell you. Which I feel like a lot of people do that nowadays. When they start bodybuilding, they start with coaches, and coaches are like, you need this, and I'll be in, like, people will do it. Kind of after that, I kind of like got my own mind on it, and I was just kind of like, I need to research. And I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to see what I can do without for a few years. And then when I just decided that I wanted to move to athletic, I knew in my prep that I would need to. So, yeah.
I think when you first hear about it, I was the same. I started, the first gym I went to was like a bodybuilding gym. It was just powerlifters, massive people, and they all kind of played it down so much that they were just like, oh yeah, it's just a pill. You just want to take this pill once a day. It's not a big deal. I didn't at the time, but there was other girls in the gym that were on it, and they were just looking incredible. And I was like, doesn't seem that big a deal. But obviously then I got coaches, but my coaches have always been the opposite. They're like, I wouldn't just yet. So I'm quite lucky. I've had quite good advice, especially my previous coach, because it was in fitness. She was really, no, definitely not. But then that's a very different look. Fitness shows are a very different look. Why did you start Perfectly Poised?
Oh, okay. I just kind of really wanted to help people. So after kind of 6 years of doing like posing and things like that, like throughout that time I've had like people ask me to help them to pose, and I've kind of just helped them because I like helping. And my friends just kind of like, well, you should really do that, you know, as like a kind of business. And I was just kind of like, well, I feel like I can't do it because I feel like I'm not like a pro, I'm not like well known or anything. And then I was constantly thinking like, what are people going to think about me? And then kind of this year, well, it was last year that I really wanted to start it. Had all like my posters made, and then we went into isolation, so I held it back a bit. And then my partner now was just literally like, just do it, like you've got nothing to lose, like just go for it. And I've started it now, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like I just feel like when I'm doing it, I'm like so happy, and like just seeing people now, like after the sessions, they're just really happy, and like people's confidence growing. So I think I've found something that I just like doing. So I really wanted to just help people, and I like posing. So yeah.
Bikini or figure? What do you prefer?
More towards the figure, just because I only did like one season in like bikini, and I just couldn't do the posing myself, so I wouldn't want to try and correct people in something that I probably couldn't do myself. So more towards the figure, so toned, athletic, trained, and then probably like IFBB, just because it is the quarter turns and transitions. So keep it more on the figure lines, I think.
Yeah, I struggle massively with posing. Question though, how do you bend your spine like that? Like to get your shoulders facing one way and your hips facing another, my body just does not like that. And even the sticking out your bum as well, which is like a necessary thing, unfortunately, to do as a girl. You give your clients like stretches to do and stuff like that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of girls that I've got at the moment, and like moving from like the torso twisting here, like I feel like a lot of people are quite like tight down here, so it's just a case of like stretching this off and just trying to like get yourself into that position. So I've been giving my clients basically just like stretching to do throughout the week, and like the next session they've like been able to get a bit more further around. And yeah, so it's definitely more of like the range of motion like around like the back and things like that. So and practice.
I might have to hit you up for a session, because I am honestly like a robot.
Definitely, I'll be happy to if you want to. So
yeah,
with every client I'm doing like it's like a free service, so I'll just call them before and just talk through like basically what they've done, what they want to do, what they want to work on, and what federation they're competing in, how much time they've got, and to obviously get all the things together, whether they want a routine. But I'm also offering like consultations as well, so if they need help with like bikinis and jewelry choice and shoes and things like that, because I remember when I first started, like the hardest thing is probably choosing what color bikini to have, what music you need to post to, and then yeah, it's just a minefield. So I'm kind of offering that as well alongside, so consultations and posing.
yeah. When I started, I still don't really know anyone else that competed. So again, looking for bikinis, shoes. My first actual feedback was that my shoes were too short, but I couldn't walk. I can't walk in heels. They were like an inch tall. And I thought I looked great in them, but apparently not.
Oh gosh. I always recommend platforms. They're so good to like pose in.
Are you allowed platforms for PCA?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. I think it's just 2 rows that you can't, and then physique you don't have any shoes.
I can walk in wedgies, that's my limit.
I can't do them flat, you know, them flat things with it. I can't do them.
As nice as they look, no.
Can't do them. No, it's not happening.
You're sponsored by Bikini Love, is that right?
Yes, Anne.
Is that where you get all your bikinis from?
So previously to that, I always bought like bikinis from people because they're so expensive. I did purchase some from like Harlequin. That's where Anne originally owned Harlequin. So previously to that, I bought them from like Harlequin. And then I bought from MVD. I think she's changed it now to Athena Bikini, something. I think.
Oh yeah.
So previously from there as well, and then now moving towards this time I compete, I'll be getting bikinis from Anne. But I know Anne supplied like to my friends and everything, so highly recommend.
Yeah, my last prep, I made my bikini just because they cost too much.
I honestly wish I could do that. They're so expensive.
Yeah,
How did you even make it? Like,
it was effort. It wasn't the best, but it held together, so I was pretty proud of that.
That's the main thing.
With the bikinis though, I know padding has to be added, because when I first got my one made, she was like, you really need padding. I was like, I don't really want padding. She's like, no, you need padding. I was like, oh right.
You're like, okay.
Like, call me boy.
You literally just don't have any boobs, like, because I've got no like implants or anything, so when it comes to like competing, like I literally have like nothing there. It's just, yeah. So the last few ones I've had have been what did I have? I had like a molded cup last time, which I really liked. It just literally stayed in place. And then before I've had like a triangle one, which is like it gathers at the bottom, but I've had like a implant thing in there as well, just to put some.
Does a figure suit make a difference with the cup, do you think? I've only had like normal bikinis, so if it's a figure suit, if you have like a triangle, will it not
Will it not move?
Yeah.
I've had both, to be honest, and I've had a triangle one from Sparkling Sapphire, my red one for NABA England, and like that stayed in place, so that was just like perfect. But for me, like I prefer like molded cups, because I like to, if you have a triangle, they sit higher, I think. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you have like a molded cup, they're like lower. So they're like there.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. My thing just popped. My thing popped up that it's like running out of battery. I've not switched it on. 1 second.
Oh, that's right.
There we go. Sorry.
That's all right.
It on.
That's fine. Would you recommend getting a proper practice figure suit?
So I've got one for off season, so I highly recommend, because when you're kind of posing in like sports bras, it like hides everything. So it hides like your lats, it hides like your back. And then if you're like in shorts and things, like, so if you're posing from like the rear and stuff, you can't really see whether like your legs in the right position for like your glutes. So I'd recommend just having like a practice one, even if it's just one that's, you know, it doesn't need to be expensive, just
yeah, because I've just been using like normal swimsuit bikinis, and if I want to do figure, I need a figure suit, so it just doesn't, I don't know how it's going to look, kind of thing.
Yeah. No,
especially when the figure suits come up quite high at the back, which I don't think is very flattering on someone with no bum. So at least I know where I need to work on, I guess.
No, I'd highly recommend, definitely. So like the ones that cross the back as well. So I don't know, I just think if you're going to be wearing one like on stage, then practice in one, because then you know whether if you're moving and things like that, where it's gonna, if it's gonna like move or anything, if that makes sense.
Do you like being on stage?
Yes and no.
Like, would you say that is like the best part of the whole prep? Or would you prefer the process than actually being on stage?
So I like the whole process. Like the food doesn't bother me because I kind of switch off. Like I have no emotion to like the food. Like I just eat whatever's there. I don't know, like I enjoy seeing my body change. Like the first couple of weeks you don't really see anything, so I don't really enjoy that because I'm like, right, okay, nothing's happening. The bit where you see like your body change and like you're getting leaner and then you start seeing like striations, you're like, oh, okay, this is working, I like this. And then I don't know, I just like seeing my body change. And then when I get on stage, I do kind of like getting my hair done, the makeup, the bikini. I hate the waiting around when you're waiting to go on stage. And then when I'm on stage, I don't know, it's just like a blur. I just, sometimes I actually can't wait for it to be over. Like it's weird. Just kind of like, I want to just go, get the job done and then go. It's weird.
Because you've
So I
got,
don't really,
you have the eye walk, obviously in figure, you have routine as well, and then pose down. What's your worst?
yeah.
What's the worst?
What's the worst? God, that's hard. I think for me, I don't mind the routine because yeah, that doesn't bother me. Pose down's a bit of fun. So I think for me, it's the first bit when you walk on stage and you've got to get into position. That's probably the worst bit for me. And like some of the times, like I remember I was like first in the line to come out, and it's just like I hated it. I was just like, why can't I be in like the middle or like near the end? So that bit for me is the first bit you walk on stage is probably like the worst bit for me.
Yeah, I'm dreading the pose down bit. That
Really?
it just makes me die.
Why?
I like, obviously I know every show I've ever seen, everyone kind of rushes to the middle. I would rather be on the end and have space, because I would feel bad blocking other people, and then I get annoyed if I get blocked as well. So I'm like, just put me on the end, I just do my own thing and not look anywhere else. But with the routine, is yours normally like, because some people do it like quite dancey and then other people just do it posy?
I can't dance. I can't dance, can't do any like gymnastics, anything like that. I'm not gonna be able to do like a handstand or like a flip or like roll around on the floor. Like I can't do that. Like if I go down on the floor, like I'm not getting back up. So I just kind of just do a kind of flowy thing and then more into like my poses. So try and keep it like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do the same because I got no rhythm at all.
See, I'm okay with like putting like pose into the songs, but like I can't, like if someone asked me to like put a bit of dance in there, like I just not happening.
Yeah, it does look so nice when people are like going down to the floor and all flowy, but I think I'll be the same. I'll be on the floor and just stuck.
See, I find it hard as well because like when people go on the floor, they like leave like a oil slick. And like when you've got to come back out, and like I remember I was doing like the NABA England when I was like called forward, there was like some like oil or something on the floor, and I was actually standing there and I was just like, I am gonna like fall. And like when I was trying to get into my pose, like my shoes were just doing this, and I was like, what the hell? Like I'm gonna fall on my bum.
Have you ever seen anyone fall over?
I haven't seen anyone fall over, but I remember I was walking out on one show and like I think I was first in the line as well. I think this was in Nabba Midlands, and literally I just went boom, but I managed to like, stop myself from falling on my bum, but I did nearly go. That was quite scary.
Just grab the closest person, you're coming down as well.
I know, it was just like it was so bad.
I have a couple of quick fire questions for you before you
Yeah,
go,
that's
because
fine.
I know you've got a posing session to do. Would you rather have to walk on your hands everywhere in a handstand or crawl?
Crawl.
Everywhere.
Crawl everywhere, yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Ooh. Bahamas.
Yeah, that would be good right now.
Yeah.
A zombie apocalypse, what would you do first?
Ooh, get all of the food.
Where from?
Just anywhere, Asda. Let's go.
Just lock yourself in Asda.
I'd get all of the food and then I'd go buy a gun.
That's hard in this country.
Bow and arrow.
Get practicing. You were invisible for a day, what would you do?
God, I don't know. This is meant to be quick fire, but my brain's like, what?
I'm asking it, but I don't know what I'd do either.
God. What would I do for a day? I don't know. Probably sneak somewhere into a different country at this rate. Like, just try and get some sun.
Get on a flight.
I'm blending in with my wall.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I learned a lot about posing, and I need to book in with you as well.
You're very welcome, and anytime.
All right, I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Bye.